Hey guys, Armando here again. Thought I'd go ahead and start a video build on my latest figure build. As I have taken to doing, I'd like to have one ship build and one figure build going concurrently. As you all know, I am doing the Enterprise D, and right now I'm building the nacelles, but I figured I'd been doing some research on the aliens, and I've collected several of the alien kits by now, and I thought I'd start with the first one, the MPC Alien Xenomorph from the first movie. This is the reissue from I believe it's round 2, and I've already started working on it. I thought I'd show you the progress I've made so far and explain some of the stuff I've been doing and some of the pitfalls I've met up against. Now, the first thing that the instructions tell you to build is the head and the pharyngeal jaws. Now, the pharyngeal jaws, everything is molded in black, and the pharyngeal jaws were more challenging than I thought they would be, in part because the color, you have to nail it just right. I thought, to me, it's a sort of a pearl white, and my son found a nice website with a close-up picture of the jaw coming out in the movie. There it is, as you can see it. If you're interested, it's Xenomorph alienanthology.wikia.com. It's got some great pictures of some of the texture. I really did a lot of research on this because I want to nail the Xenomorph's texture just right. I've seen some incredible builds where they paint it and the color isn't quite uniform. It's more textured, and in the movie they make them shiny, although I realize that probably the props weren't that shiny, but to my way of looking at it, he is glossy, shiny, kind of metallic, and also has suggestions of other colors, as my friend Chris Whitford was suggesting. So I'll go into some of the stuff I'm thinking of doing and what I've done so far. I started with the pharyngeal jaws, and I went through several different color variations. I painted them with a white primer from the Alclads. Oh, that's fallen. The white primer from the Alclads, which is this one right here. And since it was molded in black, it gave it a nice sort of dirty white look, and I kind of like that. But the mistake I made, which I didn't think would be a big deal when I first glued it together because it just wasn't that noticeable, was the seams. I didn't think they'd be that noticeable, but boy, once you glue it together and you paint it, they suddenly jumped out at me and they screamed at me like, here we are, and I just could not take it. So I went ahead and sanded it down, and I didn't think the seams would be workable in this thing because it has ridges. Let me show you. It has it's not focusing very well, but it has ridges on the sides there. Well, there you can see those on the top. They're similar on the sides, and I thought for sure I wouldn't be able to hit those seams. But I decided to try it anyway, and I went ahead and filled it in with a putty and sanded it down, and it did tone them down to the point that on this side, in certain angles, you don't see them that well. You still see it somewhat, but I decided to accept that. Then I went ahead and played with the colors. I painted it glossy and hit it with some silver to see how it looked. Didn't like it. Thinned it out with a lacquer and wiped it out and started again, and decided to just stick with the white primer from Alclad, and that's what I painted it with. And then I glossed it with the Testors spray lacquer, the gloss, a couple of coats to make it more shiny, and then finally the tips of the teeth I did hit with some silver, some steel color from the Alclads. It's hard to see here. This thing just will not focus, but I lightly airbrushed the tips of all those teeth with the steel color, because if you notice on this picture, they are kind of steely. And in fact, when you look at the external teeth, they also have some steeliness to the tips of them. So I went ahead and did that, and although it doesn't look like this one on the screen, I think it looks pretty good. I think I achieved a certain look that with a little goo on it and such, I'll be able to make it look more natural, and I'm open to suggestions as to how to do the goo on it afterwards. So I did the pharyngeal jaw, and then I decided to go ahead and gloss over the head before I put it together, and I did the same thing with the body. And mainly the reason I do that is because there are parts that I don't want to get painted with a gloss, such as the pharyngeal jaws here and the arms, which swivel and will be joined in there. But the arms I put together without painting. I've glued them together. I have them on clamps right now. After I'm done with that, I'll sand down any edges on the seams, and then I'll work on the seams, get them down, sand them down, and then I'll gloss them over with the Alclad Gloss Black. But the head I've already glossed with the Alclad Gloss Black, and the body as well, at least one coat. As you can see, it gives it the nice shiny look that's the prelude to metallic finishes on Alclad lacquers. Now the question will become, well, what do I hit it with? And that I haven't decided yet. The head, as you can see, has a nasty seam up the front there. Of course, it's going to be covered with a transparent dome, and I wanted to show you that as well because I was happy with the way this came out. This dome is molded in clear. I took the transparent smoke Alclad. Yeah, here it is. Transparent smoke. And I sprayed it on the inside. And if you'll notice, with the airbrush I made it thicker towards the front than towards the back, because I have seen some of these aliens that have the dome molded and they make it so it's darker on the front than the back. It gives us this neat bug-like appearance, which is part of what I'm trying to achieve. So once this is dried, I'll work on the seams, sand them down, hit it with some more black gloss, and on the arms I'll work on the seams and then gloss them, and then I'll put the whole thing together. This kit really, as far as assembly is concerned, is pretty straightforward and simple. Obviously there's no lighting. It's the painting that's going to make the kit, and although I'm no expert, I'm hoping I learned some valuable stuff from this one that'll help me with the other xenomorphs that I have from the second, third, and fourth movies. I have one from each, and I want to make some sort of a diorama with all of them, and I'm hoping that I can get this thing right. Anyway, that's the progress I've made on my xenomorph so far, and I'll get back at you when I have more updates. Talk to you later.